Hi. So I was doom scrolling on Instagram earlier and I came across this post where this guy was talking about like if you're in your 20s or you're in your 30s, the difference between where you are right now and where you want to be in your business or career. Foundationally, it is the skill set that you need, right? Just like that is the bridge, the knowledge that you do not have, the things you do not know, and how that will take you to where you want to go. And just generally, I feel like there is a lot of attention towards gaining skill sets and gaining skills, rightfully so, I might add, especially for like professionals, young professionals, or business people, entrepreneurs. Um, I want to say though that I have a slightly different take about it. Having skills itself, the rush to gain more skills and new skills itself is not a bad thing, but I just think that there is a missing layer to it or a context that nobody is really paying so much attention to, or at least in my own field. And that is that there is a level of application that you need to have with whatever skill that you're having. So I personally I believe in alchemy, right? So alchemy is like the process where metals are transformed into gold through heating. And I feel that whatever career path that you're on, it is really just the same thing, right? There is a transformation process that you have to go through, literally whatever path that you're on. And because it's really just the same thing, the very idea of gaining skills just for skills sake itself is not entirely valid, because or not entirely the best approach, I would rather say. And I would say that because it creates an unintended consequence of people moving from one thing to the other thing and then to another thing, just transversing towards paths in the name of trying to get skills. And personally, I've experienced this myself, or I'm in it. So last year, I took a course on AWS, and I'm also on that course up until now. And so far, I've clocked over 100 hours, at least from what I can count. But there is just this gap that I feel, and the gap is that I do not use cloud computing in my daily work, right? So I think that missing context is that whatever you're learning, whatever skill, whatever level of upskilling you're taking on right now, the best way for it to be applicable, the best approach or a different approach really, is that use those things in the thing that you do today. Let the skill that you do today, let the work, the thing that you spend your most time on, and I use work because for most of us, work is the thing that we spend most of our time on. Let the thing that you spend the most time on, whatever skill that you're trying to get, let it be applicable to that thing, because that way there is just a lot more repetitions, and repetitions drive consistency, right? So growth doesn't entirely come from acquiring every new skill or acquiring a new skill. You're a product designer, you're trying to acquire a skill of, a web developer, you are a fashion person. Let's say you're a designer, right? You sew like a seamstress, and you're trying to acquire skill for designing, um, what do you call them? Sketches, right? So while that itself it's not a bad skill to have, it's actually a great add-on. If it's not something that you apply, or if it's not something that you're going to apply in your day-to-day, in the thing that you spend your most time on, and the kind of customers that you spend your most time on, that's not entirely what I would recommend, in my own thinking anyway, as what you should do, right? So I think that you want to do things, or I want to do things that I work in products, right? So my work is mostly product innovations, and everything that I'm learning today should improve the work that I do in innovation. And using those skills that I'm acquiring, or seeking skills that actually improve my own work, what I'll find out is that eventually, just by progressively going deeper in that one path that I'm on today, you would learn the other things. So you don't entirely need to go and learn sales just for sales sake. So what would sales do for me as a product person? What would engineering look like? What would applying engineering look like as a product person? What would applying marketing, how would I apply marketing in what I do? I think just a rethink really about how the skill setting should even start in the first place. So instead of looking at skills that you need because of where you want to go, I think looking at the skills that you need based on what fits into what you're doing now, especially the part that you would likely spend more time on, or the things that you likely spend more time on, and that you're committed to spending time on. It's such a great way. So yeah, I don't think that we need to necessarily chase every new skill, especially with these AI balls, right? And I'll talk about this a lot more because, like, I'm there, I'm all over it, it's all over me. But, like, focus on your path, I think. Growth would come from doing the work that you do, that you spend the most time in, if you infuse those new skills into the thing that you spend the most time in, not necessarily trying to create an alternate path that you would spend more time in, because there's just like a disconnect, right? So yeah, whatever field you're in, just do the work and trust your own process, trust the path that you're on, and trust in reputations, because that's where, I feel like there's more growth. So if this speaks to you, please sign up. Subscribe on the channel, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.